Where has my Yogi gone? Where could his upstairs cat and downstairs cat too? Um, Funny with my downstairs cat. Give me a second, guys. There was a cat on my deck outside this morning. She did not like that at all. I was doing my yoga, had my yoga mat out on the floor in the living room, and she leaped off. She was on a chair, minding her own business. She leaped off the chair and went straight, all four paws, up against that sliding glass door, ready to get that cat. And then she came over and stood between me and the cat, just in case that cat found a way to unlock and open a sliding glass door completely on her own. My little cat had nothing to do with that. Full protection force. All right, hold on. That's right, I said hold on. I did not say give me a second. I did not say give me a minute. I said hold on. Shoe time. I have suddenly remembered over the last couple of days why I stopped wearing these shoes 20 plus years ago. Blisters. They've rubbed a hole in my, I got holes all over. Rubbed a hole in my heel. Hey, Michael. Michael, thank you for dropping your link. What's going on today? Michael's got a new short for us. So I think I'm breaking down. I might get, hey, so Chat GPT. Is it called Chat GPT? How do you say that actually? How do you actually say that? Can you use it to generate? Yeah, Chat GPT. Can you use that to make thumbnails for yourself? Hi, Marlon. Hey, Anthony. Hi, Anna. What can I do with it? Can I use that to help my YouTube experience? By YouTube experience, I mean lock into the algorithms. Kat says, which is why it's fun to pick on who? Pick on me? It's not fun to pick on me. Kat says, no, you said give me a second. I did not even say it. Did not even cross my mind. Anthony says, good morning, my brother Yogi. How are you? I'm good, even though I'm being picked on. Kat says, yup. She's making stuff up. Let's see. We're going all the way over. What is today? Today's lesson 35, right? Hey, F-U-C-K the course. Nanette Tierhart, our good friend. I was spending some time there this morning after I finished writing. It's absolutely brilliant, by the way. Kat says, yes, Chat GPT. And yes, all you have to do is tell you what you want, Yogi. I wanted to do everything for me. I wanted to do my laundry. I wanted to change the kitty litter and my kitty litter box for my cats. I wanted to make, what are they called? Thumbnails. And I wanted to zero in on the algorithms and put me right in the spot that maximizes my viewer retention and growth. Is that asking too much? And it says, I missed your live stream last night, Yogi. I fell asleep before. That's okay. We had a visit from the amazing, energetic Joshua, who, guess what? He was being amazing and energetic. Who would have thought? Hey, Stinkbug. And we had a visit, 3-song visit from Superstar Selma, who came up to sing. It was about it, you know, and me talking stuff. All right. So we are on lesson 35, right? Let me just get my other shoe on. I was on lesson 132 today, and I wrote about it. Maybe I'll read it. Lesson 132 is declarative. Declarative. Declaring. It actually ties in with some of the earlier lessons that we did. If you guys remember lesson 14, God did not create a meaningless world. If you remember lesson 23, I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. '31 says I am not a victim of the world I see. Lesson 32, a big clue is dropped. I have invented the world that I see. All right, lesson 35. I haven't forgotten. I know you're all thinking, man, is he ever going to get on track? Is he ever going to read lesson 35? Yes. As soon as I put my shoe on. We're getting there. I love lesson 35. I love all of these lessons, by the way. Hey, Billy. Billy says, my mom didn't invite me to Christmas. I ate ramen noodles. Ramen noodles aren't bad. Do you mean declarative? Declarative. I do mean it. I can't say it, but I mean it. Lesson 35. My mind... Oh, let me go back here to Billy. Billy, I'm sorry about that, my friend. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. Lesson 34 tells you I could see peace instead of this. You know why you could see peace instead of this? Because your mind is part of God's. Now, some people might say, but what if I don't believe in God? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I always tell people who come in and say, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in the same God you don't believe in. We're on the same page as that. So substitute God. My mind is part of the universe. I am very holy. Your mind has to be somewhat part of the universe. Did the universe stop right when you began? Did the universe just hit the brakes and say, whoa, wait a minute. There's Yogi. Don't want to get in the way of him. Nope. Hey, so I just got an email saying Daniel from Use AI says I left something behind. Why did my chat GPT name itself Daniel? They don't want Daniel. No offense to Daniel. Anyway, your mind is part of God's. It's very holy. It's a big thing you asked to accept. We're going to explain it. What did our friend William have to say? Probably something very wise, right? He thought this nerd was calling you Billy. William, I would never. Billy, I would never call you Billy. And it says, my mind is part of God's. I'm very holy. Hey, country. Syncbook says, William, don't make him do it. Yeah, there is a lot of sodium in those noodles. William says, wish God could come down and tell us it's weird. We can't get him on camera. Of course you can get him on a camera. You ever taken a photo of a sunset, of a sunrise, of a puppy dog, of a pond, of a fish? Have you ever taken a self-portrait? Have you ever taken a photo of a loved one? Have you ever taken a photo of Sasquatch? Have you ever taken a photo of a kitty cat? Have you ever taken a photo of your own thumbnail? Have you ever taken a photo? Ever? Have you ever drawn a picture? Have you ever looked in the mirror? Lesson 35 says, my mind is part of God's. I am very holy. You are not separate from God. Every thought, every true thought that you think is a thought of God. You might think, but what about all those awful thoughts that I have? They are thoughts of the ego. Ego doesn't exist. The ego is not who you are. Ego is a misrepresentation of who you are. So today's idea, my mind is part of God's and I'm very holy, says that today's idea does not describe the way you see yourself now. Doesn't describe the way you see yourself now. It does, however, describe what vision will show you. It is difficult for anyone who thinks he is in this world to believe this of himself. It's a reason he thinks he is in this world is because he does not believe it. You will believe that you are part of where you think you are. You think you are an ego, creating an ego world, then you think that you belong in that world. That is because you surround yourself with the environment you want. And you want it to protect the image of yourself that you have made. The image is part of this environment. What you see while you believe you are in is seen through the eyes of the image. This is not vision. Images cannot see. A side note, the great Christian mystic, the German mystic Meister Eckhart, said, "The eye in which I see God is the same eye in which God sees me." The idea for today presents a very different view of yourself. By establishing your source, it establishes your identity, and it describes you as you must really be in truth. Remember today's idea? My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. By establishing your source, it establishes your identity, and it describes you as you must really be in truth. We will use a somewhat different kind of application for today's idea because the emphasis for today is on the perceiver rather than what he perceives. Guess what? This body, your thoughts, the image that you hold about yourself is perceived. You, who you truly are, is the perceiver. For each of the 3 to 5 minute practice periods today, begin by repeating today's idea to yourself, and then close your eyes and search your mind for the various kinds of descriptive terms in which you see yourself. Include all the ego-based attributes that you ascribe to yourself, positive or negative, desirable or undesirable, grandiose or debased. All of them are equally unreal, because you do not look upon yourself through the eyes of holiness. You see yourself through the lens of the ego, and so you are. However, it's only a belief. It's a dream. It's all an illusion. In the earlier part of the mind searching period, you will probably emphasize what you consider to be more negative aspects of your perception of yourself. Toward the latter part of the exercise periods, however, more self-inflating descriptive terms may cross your mind. Try to recognize that the direction of your fantasies about yourself does not matter. Illusions, I told you, illusions, have no direction in reality. They are merely not true. A suitable selection for applying today's idea for today might be as follows. I see myself as imposed on. I see myself as depressed. I do sometimes. I see myself as failing. I do, quite often, as a matter of fact. I see myself endangered. I see myself as helpless. I see myself as victorious. I see myself losing out. I see myself as charitable. I see myself as virtuous. All of those are untrue. You should not think of these terms in any abstract way. They will occur as various situations, personalities, and events in which you figure cross your mind. Pick up any specific situation that occurs to you, identify the descriptive term or terms you feel are applicable to your reaction to the situation, and use them in applying today's idea. After you have named each one, add, but my mind is part of God's. I am very holy. Now, after 35 lessons, we are declaring, we are being declarative. Help me out here, Stinkbug. We are being sincere in who we truly are. We've arrived at a truth. And lesson 35, you stuck with it, man. Lesson 35 says, but my mind is part of God's. I am very holy. All that crap that you think about yourself, all the crappiness that you see happening to you, it's not happening to you. It's happening to the ego. You're not the ego. You want to identify with the ego? Do you want to identify with the crap? Or do you want to flip the script? My mind, who I am an idea in the mind of God. My mind is part of God's. I am am. Keep going back to that great I am. Very holy. Note that they're saying I am. Talking about me, not you guys. You guys suck. Not really. I am. Guess what? There's only one I am. There's only one I am. And you guys don't suck. During the longer... man, I gotta be careful with what I say on YouTube. It's gonna float around the YouTube verse. The YouTuberverse. I just made that up. YouTuberverse. Feel free to quote me on that. It's gonna float around the YouTuberverse that, man, Yogi just said you guys suck. I did say it. I was just joking, guys. During the longer practice exercise periods, there will probably be intervals in which nothing specific occurs to you. Do not strain to think up specific thoughts to fill the intervals, but merely relax and repeat today's idea. Once again, my mind is part of God's and I'm very holy. To fill the interval by merely relaxing and repeat ideas slowly until something does occur to you. Although nothing that does occur should be omitted from the exercise, nothing should be dug out with effort. Neither force nor discrimination should be used. As often as possible throughout the day, pick a specific attribute or attributes that you are ascribing to yourself at the same time and apply the idea for today to them, adding the idea in the form stated above to each of them. If nothing particular occurs to you, merely repeat the idea to yourself with eyes closed. But my mind is part of God's. I am very holy. Guess what? Declarative. See, Stinkbug, I knew I came to the right person. Declarative. Because I wrote that today and I thought, wow, man, how am I going to be able to read this? Guess what? You're not special. I didn't mean that to you personally, Stinkbug. You, my friend, are special. No one else is. We're not special. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. Man, that sounds pretty declarative, right? How was that, Stinkbug? That seems like a pretty important thing to say about myself. My mind is part of God. I am very holy. But guess what? Everyone you encounter today, every single person, those who are pissing you off, those who are upsetting you, those who are saying things about you, those who are threatening you, those who whatever, their mind, who they are in truth, is part of God's. They are very holy. Not their ego, not the personality, not who you think they are and not who they think they are. Not who I think I am, not who they think I am. I am very holy because my mind is part of God's. Hey, Michael. Lesson 35, guys. Any questions? Did I pass the audition? Syncfo says, I'm going to text you how to say it. I need a tutorial. Did I say tutorial right? Kat says, listening from my treadmill. Awesome. Kat says, I am proud of myself for getting it set up. If you can't tell, you should be proud of yourself. Declarative. I feel so smart. I can go back and go to bed right now. I accomplished something today. Slinkbug took me down to Sesame Street and taught me how to say a word. You guys remember the song? Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? You know what you find at the end of Sesame Street? Stinkbug. This episode is sponsored, brought to you by Stinkbug. Michael says, I love when I get hung up on a word every day. Every live stream, a different word every day. I can't say it quite. That shit sticks in your head. It does. Hey, well, wait, what? Do you like the rainbow dash jar? I don't know what that is. Anthony says, it isn't always worth it or even a good idea depending on your situation. I'd hate you if you regret it someday, but for whatever brings you peace, brother. What are we talking about? Oh, Billy. Way back up. Let's see. JFARB, there will be African immigrants living in that house within 10 years. They are welcome. I will be happy receiving it. You're right about that. I have no issue with African immigrants or immigrants anywhere. They need a place to crash. Let's see what I can do. They gotta like cats. They can't have a dog. I wish they could. Any questions about lesson 35? Any questions about anything that we've covered so far? Let me know. All questions are good questions, guys. Except for the questions that I can't answer. Then don't ask me those questions. Hey, Carrie. Their influence on each other is without limit. They must be used to the point of salvation and must be used for their joint salvation. Thank you, my friend. Carrie, thank you. Let's bring up our friend Carrie's YouTube channel. Oh man, Carrie, you just won me over with your video for Jerry Garcia 30 years later. I just subscribed. I just subscribed because of the lovely comment that you left here and because you got a video of Jerry Garcia. Anna says, hello to Sissy, and a big hello to Sissy too. Thank you, Anna. All right, I still haven't tied my last shoe. Guys, we have a guest today. Fortunately, I love having guests. Saves me a lot of trouble thinking of something to say. As you can tell by the long amounts of silence between what I'm saying today, I struggle for something to say. Hey, Skits. Tie your last shoe. It's important. It is important. Especially with these shoes. These are not my favorite shoes, which is why I've had them for, again, probably 20 years. Not quite 20 years. And I've only worn them a handful of times. I like minimalist shoes or barefoot shoes or actually going barefoot. These are bigger trail shoes. I bought them when I very first started racing. I quickly found that I just don't like wearing them. But because we got snow, we got ice, and these have really good traction, they come in handy. I've worn more in the past week since it snowed than I had in all the previous 15 to 20 years that I've owned them. Hey, B. Rent, what are you talking about today? We were talking about lesson 35 in A Course in Miracles. We were talking about you, my friend. You. B. Rent, you might not realize this. But I hope you can experience it, even for a brief moment. Your mind, B. Rent, is part of God's. Your true mind, who you actually are, not who you believe yourself to be, is part of God's. And you, my friend, are very holy. Maybe the holiest of them all. You might be the anointed one, the one that we've been waiting for. Guess what? All of us are the anointed one, and all of us, the recognition of who we are, the recognition of who our brother is, which is the nature of forgiveness, the recognition of who our sister is. That each of them is the anointed one, capital O, one, because there is only one. If Kat could take a moment and pause on the treadmill to answer a question, Kat, what would Ramana Maharshi say? If he said, well, what about the other? What about this guy? What about the other guy? What would the great sage, Ramana Maharshi, say? Me? There's so many people around? What people? Kat says, there is no one else. Cat's out of the bag. I would never put cat in a bag. This cat or my cats, they don't like bags. I would, however, put any cat in a box. But my cat, either one of my cats, they don't like boxes. How did I ever get cats that don't like boxes? Oddly enough, they do like bags. Michael says, thank you, Skits, and happy Wednesday for you two and everyone else. Oh, I'm sorry, Anna said that. What did Michael say? What did B. Rent say? Carrie says, I am very holy. My mind is part of God's. Welcome home. Welcome home indeed, my friend. See, Cyrus, sorry. Kat says, anyway, there is no one else which says you are responsible, like it or not. I mean, I am responsible, like it or not. Yes. Most of us don't like it, do we? I don't like it. I don't like taking responsibility for other people's crap, but guess what? There is no other people's. Meaning, it's all my crap. Every last ounce of it. Michael says, didn't Maharshi work at a cigarette shop? Nope. He probably asked what cigarette you want. Nisargadatta Maharaj worked at the cigarette shop. I think he might have owned the cigarette shop. Maharshi lived beside a mountain. The mountain was his guru. I don't remember the mountain's name. And he basically just sat and smiled and played with animals. He loved animals. Makes him a pretty awesome person, doesn't it? And it says, thank you, Skitosis. Much love to you and to everyone. Nisargadatta Maharaj worked at a cigarette shop. They called Biddies. Biddis. Very cheap rolled cigarettes. And in the back of the shop, he would talk about, I am that, and you are that, because that is all there is. And people would gather around. Let's see, Michael says, oh, he is the one with the pet Lakshmi, the cow. He did love his cows, and who wouldn't love a cow? It was a cow that turned me vegan. It was a photo of a cow that turned me vegan. Oddly enough, I worked in a veal farm about 6 months or so when I was 15 years old. I lived with a cousin, older cousin, and she owned and operated a veal farm. And part of me living there, I woke up every morning and I did the chores. For me, the chores were going with her to the barn, and we fed all the calves a formula. It was a formula that was designed, it was a milk-like formula filled with antibiotics that was designed to keep them anemic so that their skin would be very tender. They didn't want them to develop any muscle at all. They kept them chained in one spot. The neck chain, so they couldn't move their head around. No muscle. Tender. You know why? They were treated as products, as commodities, and not as actual living, loving beings. You know how they were loving? Because they were crying for their mother. All of you guys are like, man, I wish you would stop talking about this. This is my experience, though. And I did that. It left a deep impression on me. However, I did not change my diet. I didn't eat veal, but I still ate meat, dairy products, all that stuff. But it left an impression. Never left me. One day, I was a vegetarian. Still ate fish, still had dairy. Um, I saw a photo of a cow that was being pushed up a ramp to go to slaughter. Of course, the cow was very reluctant, right? Who wouldn't be? And the cow fell, and the farmer, this very, very mean and disgusted look on his face, he's wearing rubber boots, kicked the cow. And the cow was looking up at the man with such a look of shock, a look of compassion, a look of, here's the look. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. How could you kick me in the face? And the cow looked, all that emotion on the cow's face. Someone might say, you projected all that. Guess what? We're projecting everything. But it was enough, that photo, that day. I said, you know what? I'm a vegan. Never had meat again. Little epiphanies. Be open to them. I had the same epiphany when I quit drinking. Like that. It's funny how people want to deny our experiences. Someone might say, but do you want really an alcoholic? You weren't addicted to alcohol. If you could quit like that, when you are given grace, accept it and don't question it. I drank virtually every day. There might have been a day or two in the course of a decade. I could add them up. Probably, I could add up the amount of days I did not drink in a decade, and still have days of a week left over, probably. And I drank to excess, and I drank in order to get drunk. And one day, given an option, giving a clear path and seeing which one might lead, one was assured. If I kept drinking, my life was going to end in tragedy, probably involving other people. Or I could quit drinking right now. So I did. Carrie, my friend. Carrie says, nothing that you undertake with certain purpose, high resolve, happy confidence, and holding your brother's hand, and in the step of heaven is difficult to do. Principle 1, I am supposed to be on a Course in Miracles sabbatical, so hi for now. Thank you so much. Thank you for that beautiful reply, and thank you for that wonderful gesture. And you know what? These are words I really, really needed to hear. And that gesture, I don't think I could actually convey the weight, the significance that that gesture has for me right now. Hi, Flora. Michael, good luck on your vegetarian journey. If you need help, if you just need support, reach out. Sometimes you just need a support team. Have I ever struggled with any other substances? No. Doesn't mean I have not used and abused other substances, but I never struggled with them. I'll be honest with you. I didn't struggle with alcohol. It sounds like a joke when I say it. People say, was it difficult? Did you struggle to quit drinking? And my answer, was it hard for you to quit drinking? My answer is always no. It was not hard for me to quit drinking because I never tried to quit drinking. A decade plus, I never tried. Why would I try? I was happily, self-destructively drinking. My goal with drinking was to obliterate myself. Did I say that right? Syncbug, help me out. You don't drink destructively in order to survive. So why would I quit? Why would I try to quit? Remember a friend, very casually, we were talking about drinking, and I was like, well, I wonder if I have a problem. And he very casually, we were walking towards the bar, and he said, oh yeah, you're an alcoholic. We all know about it and talk about it. I was like, how come no one said anything? And they're like, you seem happy with it. No alcoholic is happy. However, my goal was being met. I was unhappy with myself. I did not want to be. I saw no real way out of it. So I would just drink myself down a hole and not come back up. Kat says, Carrie Anderson, thank you much for supporting our yogi. Thank you, Kat. And Carrie, yes, thank you. Flora says hi to everyone. Flora, I hope you're having a wonderful day. B1 says, who is Brent? Really? Who is Brent really in an infinite? Well, you answered your question. Carrie says, only while doing plank pose. Are you doing the plank pose now? Hey, Bear Force. We were talking about lesson 35 and A Course in Miracles. We were talking about recovery. By the way, speaking of recovery, Paul Hederman, who talks a lot about recovery. He also talks about non-duality. He talks about the lack of connection between the two, and you'll find out why. He's going to be our guest on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. I like to call it Super Paul Sunday. You get it? Super Paul Sunday, because Paul Hederman is coming up. I know, you guys are thinking, man, Yogi, he's so clever. Michael says, every addiction's functional until it isn't. Perfectly said. Perfectly said. All right, guys, I've been talking for almost 40 minutes. We'll wrap things up in a little bit. Today is workout day, kettlebell day. And let me mention again our guest, Jeff Bailey. Jeff Bailey wrote a wonderful book called The Yoga Mind, The Yoga Sutras of Patanjali According to A Course in Miracles. I'm really looking forward to diving into a conversation with Jeff Bailey. Jeff has been practicing A Course in Miracles since 1990. He's been practicing yoga for even longer. He is highly realized yogi. My upstairs cat just strolled in. And we're going to talk about that connection. If you guys know the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, they are a collection of aphorisms. They are short, pithy sayings, easily transcribed from one person to another before the written word. It was Patanjali is not the source of this wisdom, but he's the one who collected them all together. And hold on, guys, hold on. I got a copy right here. This is one of my favorite copies. Yoga Sutras. Let's go right to the beginning. My favorite is chapter 3, but that tells you a little too much about me. Yoga Sutras of Patanjali begin at the beginning. Now the teaching of yoga. Yoga is to still the patterning of consciousness, meaning our minds, our thoughts, especially our egoic minds, are always in motion. Yoga is the art of learning to be the observer to that motion. Excuse me. When we do that, then pure awareness can abide in its very own nature. It's really important. Course in Miracles, introduction, says, this is not a course in teaching love, for that is something that cannot be taught. The opposite of love is fear, and yet what is all-encompassing can truly have no opposite. So this is a course in removing the obstacles of love's awareness so that we can abide in love. Do you see the connection? Patanjali and Jesus in the course? Jeff is going to be able to make that connection much better than me. Hey, Chef Mary, how are you, my friend? Yoga is the art of learning to observe our emotions and residing as that pure awareness. Hey, Praveen, how are you, my friend? Praveen, you got big news for everyone. Michael says, when the awareness is aware of itself, you gain satori. I love how Rupert Spear talks about, being aware, awareness aware of itself, being aware of being aware. It's all we need to do. I am aware. I am aware. Say that a couple times and let that sink in. I am aware. If you are aware, that means everything that is occurring within awareness itself is occurring within awareness itself, is occurring within the patterns of consciousness, as Patanjali said. Michael says, so that's why forgiveness is the greatest path to love. I like that. I always talk about forgiveness as the realization itself. Forgiveness is satori. Forgiveness is the awareness of love's presence and only love's presence. Practicing that and then proceeding through life. Not making a big deal about it. As Ken Wapnick said, just be normal. $200K completed. Man, that second 100K just flew by. First 100K took 1 year. Second took just 30 days. Amazing. Praveen says, thanks, Yogi sir, for your blessings. Thank you for yours, Praveen. Thank you for your friendship. Hey, Raman, how are you? Hey, it's been a while. Quasimodo says, hey, mate, just wondering what's beyond the maps. Sometimes I look within the maps, on maps, then try to map beyond the maps. I guess it's possible to locate a map that has not been mapped within. Or, let go of all maps. Go to the undiscovered country, as Agnetha said in the title of a book, where he's quoting, I forget which Upanishad. Anyone here know it? Here it says 420, journey without distance. From here to here. Easiest step to take. Seems to take forever for some of us. This guy. Brahma says, I am stuck on 100 and something subs. Hey, are you putting out shorts? Let me go over to which Upanishad says the undiscovered country? Well, this came up, Star Trek. That was not very helpful. Shakespeare said it is too, but it appears it's a line in one of the Upanishads. I don't remember which one. Shakespeare said, "The undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns." No one can say it like Shakespeare. So we're going to head out in a minute, guys. Robin says, yes. Praveen says, Yogi, sir, how are you? Praveen, I'm doing pretty good. Exit stays says, is it okay to punch a woman as a man if she punched the man first? No, it isn't. Praveen says, keep tapping on hearts. B. Rent says, why am I late? Because you didn't get here sooner. Praveen says, sorry, sir, since many days I'm not able to join your live, sir. Sorry from that. You don't need to be sorry, Praveen. I understand completely. I understand completely. Robin says, I'm hoping to get 400 subs. Let's go straight to 500. Let's go straight to 500 subs. Let's go straight to 1,000. Tell us the Star Trek Upanishad. Man, that might be a more like spontaneous and clever thinking than I might be capable of at 6 in the morning. Anthony says, just got to work. Don't ask me why. I agreed to go in earlier and stay later. But I'm here. I'll see everyone later. Take it easy and stay safe. You too, Anthony. B-Rent says, late live. I try to catch him on your channel after. Waiting for Yogi's 10K sub. Man, I hope you got nothing to do. I don't know how long that wait might be, Praveen. Some days it seems like subscribers are just clicking in, clicking by. Other days it seems like they are few and far between. Take it as it comes, I guess, right? What else can we do? But I'm headed in that direction, my friend. All right, so let's wrap it up. Thank you for joining me for lesson 35. I hope that we were... Thank you, B-Rent. I appreciate you saying that. I'm doing my best. It seems like I am being given direction a little bit at a time. Hey, Sissy, are you going live or do you have a premiere? Are you still here? Anthony says, goodbye, Anna. I hope you have a great day. I'm looking forward to talking to you this afternoon. Take care. Anna says, see you later, Anthony. Have a great day. Hi, Raman, keep popping in when you get the chance, and we'll see if we can help you with subscribers. And we will do what we can for you. The sun is going off again? Well, that's no way to behave. Nice to see you, Environman. All right. Up 1955, justice is temporary, expedition for mercy. Once again, Carrie, thank you so much. B-Run says, God will always give direction. It's just, do you realize it's been there? Thank you for that statement. Oh, wow, blackout. Radio signal blackout. Sorry to hear that, Environment. Love you too, Praveen. Guys, heading out, taking a walk. Got some work to do. We're going to do a workout. Kat says, have a safe walk, Yogi, with lots of calm and adventure. Thank you, Kat. Thank you. I will be live at 1 o'clock here Eastern time. I have a guest So I will ask any questions given to the guests, but I won't be able to like participate in the chat person to person the way I do when I'm here. I apologize, but I will be scanning the chat for any questions. Feel free to ask. Thank you, Praveen. Love you guys. I'm going to see everyone later. Love you too, my friend.